And now joining us in Studio B to get some local reaction to tonight's address, I'm joined with Christian Romo from the Kern County Democrats and Chance Bowen with Kern County Young Republicans. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me this evening.
Thank you for having us.
So first, I want to get just your overall reaction to tonight's address. A lot of action, a lot of things said, a lot announced. Chance, let's start with you.
Yeah, you know, he slayed the liberal dragon. He won the popular vote. He won the electoral college. Now he's taking a lemon and he's putting it in the wounds, and I loved it.
All right, Christian, and how do you feel from the Democratic perspective?
You know, he's been saying this since the get-go. It's all about the show for him, and it was definitely a show tonight. You know, as most Democrats were not watching this, protesting this, I did want to watch it to just get some kind of clarity, some answers from all the questions that we have from this circus, and we got none of that tonight. We got more questions than answers, and it was definitely a show, and it's the circus, really.
Mm-hmm. And I want to ask you, Christian, taking a look at some of the reaction from the Democratic Party, there was a lot of questions about how they were going to react, and there was a very strong reaction from the Democrats. Do you feel, from our local parties here watching that, how do you think they responded to it?
You know, I know it was a little difficult tonight. I wish that it would have been a little bit more civil. We could listen to each other, understand each other. I always say I'm very grateful to live in a ruby red county within a blue state, because we do have to work with each other, and I wish we could do a little bit more of that in the nation's capital.
All right, gentlemen, so I want to talk about two of what seemed to be maybe some of the biggest topics that were addressed throughout the evening. Obviously, immigration and tariffs. Chance, from a Republican's perspective, watching tonight's speech, watching all the topics that were brought in with the tariffs, what was kind of going through your head?
Yeah, what's going through my head is that Trump is a deal maker. He makes deals, and when you go to sell a car, right, you say, I want this price, and then your person that wants to buy it makes an offer, and then you guys work from there. That's what he's doing with the tariffs. He's working the art of the deal, which we know Trump has a good track record of doing. And then on the other topic,
immigration, yeah.
Immigration, yeah. It's unfortunate we're a sanctuary state. Me and Chris have talked about this in the past as well. It's that, we can't work together to get the criminals, get the people we want out, but Trump made it clear tonight that that's what we're working on. So,
I want to ask you, especially given our most recent, very, very involved interaction with Border Patrol in our own community, how do you think people were watching that, were watching his speech and taking away from it?
Well, I think there's Trump deranged syndrome is real, and we saw that, within Congress tonight. Nobody stood up. Rather, the Republicans stood up and clapped for Biden when he said that we're going to be reliant on oil for the next 10 years. But, Democrats didn't stand up not one time. So I think the local people here, they have Trump deranged syndrome. Some of them do, and the ones that don't, that can think clearly, I think, they can see his good intentions.
Christian, how about you? I know obviously Democrats in our local community had a strong reaction again to immigration and Border Patrol in our community. Watching, his statements tonight on tariffs and on immigrants, what do you think is going through the community's mind?
President Trump probably doesn't see this as a moral issue, although it very much is. We're separating families, ripping children from the parents' arms. That's not something we want here in Kern County. We're the #1 ag producer in the country, and we should also be looking at this as an economic issue. If you're taking away our workers and people are afraid to show up to work, and you're really impacting the farmers, our hotel industries, all our multiple industries in Kern County that make Kern County great, you're taking away the workforce. And so that's a real issue that I think he doesn't see or doesn't care about. And the tariffs, he said it himself, give me some time, let's work this out. That's not what the American people will need to hear. We need some stability. The markets need stability. The economy needs stability. This is not anything we need right now, and I hope that we could get this together and work with the other side and get some real answers and some real solutions for the American people, because right now we're just getting a bunch of nothing.
We heard a lot about the executive actions that were being taken place, over 100 executive orders, over 400 executive actions tonight. From, again, bringing it to a local perspective, the viewers watching this, his constituents in our Central Valley areas watching this, how do you think they're feeling about their voices being heard, or how they maybe will have their voices heard during this administration? Chance?
Well, I think that, I'm a small business owner, and I know that my voice is being heard. Our tax dollars are being preserved, which is Trump's main selling point to us. We want to save our tax dollars, and he mentioned illegal immigration. We want sex trafficking to stop. We want fentanyl coming in through our southern border to stop. That's what we want. So I think we're very excited. We're back on track, and I think the reason why Trump is getting so much flack for that is because he's a white guy. That's why.
And Christian, real quick.
That is not why. I think his policies himself, or that's why he's getting the flack. I mean, he's tearing families apart. He's giving tariffs on countries that should be our allies, our closest friends, our neighbors. The thing, you know, our goods go back and forth between those borders multiple times a day. We should be working across the aisle. We should be working with these people that live to our south and our north. We should be keeping our families together and really improving the workforce, improving the economy, which he said he was going to do. And within the first few weeks of his office, prices are up, inflation is up, stocks are down, housing prices are a mess. I mean, this is it's insane. It's a mess, and we need to clean it up. The midterms are in a year. They're right around the corner, and I think that's going to be our shot to take back our country and get it back on the right track and get the answers that the American people are asking for.
All right, gentlemen, thank you both so much for joining us this evening.